Good morning.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm very well.
I'm awesome.
And yourself?
At least. We are surviving.
Good. Speaker Ado.
Yeah.
Why Speaker Ado?
Yeah, because...
Sounds like a parliamentarian. The Speaker of Parliament.
Well, the Speaker on social issues.
Okay.
I mean, anything that goes, that builds society. We live in a society whereby you need to interact with people.
Yeah.
So what are the mechanisms for bringing people together? It's all about communication.
Okay.
And then I've set myself up to deal with such issues as well too.
Okay. Fantastic. Now,
Great.
every time you listen to an advert, advertising, whatever, medications, or advertising an event, or advertising a product, and so on, one of the things you hear often is terms and conditions apply. Right. Now, in relationships, here's the question: are there terms and conditions that apply? And if so, it's not written anywhere.
Good.
So it's hidden.
Yeah.
It's almost ethereal.
Exactly.
What are some of the terms and conditions that we should know that apply that we are not aware of?
Thank you so much, Kweku, and then good morning to City family. Mostly when you are single and then you want to start dating, sometimes it's either your dream to start dating, or society will be pushing you to go into dating. Now you start dating, then you enter into the new phase of courtship. Then either people are forcing you, or it was on your own desire to start a courtship. Then marriage. Each and every time the human face is that we are desiring for something, but then we do not know, or we are not aware. Sometimes we are aware, sometimes we are not aware about certain things, as you said, the terms and conditions attached to that phase of life. We do not know about it. So you get married, then family will be pushing you. Then you are also pressured. I want to give birth. Then someone has also given birth. That probably the person has a CP child. Then you are also desiring to give birth. So do you know when you give birth, the terms and conditions attached to the child who is going to come in? So each and every facet of our lives, especially in relationship matters, there are terms and conditions that are attached to it. Mostly we are aware. And marriage, it's the only institution that you enter into, is only the work that you go into, then that you are given a certificate at the beginning, before you even complete it. Then it means that it presupposes that you know certain things already. So just go in and put them into practice. One, do you know that your partner could be someone who is pretending now? Then when you get into the marriage or the relationship, the person is going to put up a different face, different attitude, different character altogether. Are you aware that probably the person has hidden something medically about that individual that you do not know? And that is a term and condition that you do not know. So have you psyched up yourself to accept that fact that when you go in and this thing is unraveled, you will be able to cope with it, or otherwise? There is someone who just got married on their way from reception ground. They go to the reception ground, everybody is hyper. Then the bride just was also hyper. She just collapsed. Wunsum to the hospital.
That's it.
She's gone.
Yeah.
Someone goes in and they find out that either the man is impotent, the woman is infertile, family is pushing. You do not know the pressures that will come when you enter into it. So when you look at all these things in a broader context, you ask yourself, have you planned for the known? And have you also planned for the unknown? One could be that you going in character-wise. You could be telling me you could be nice, Kweku, you are a nice person. Everybody knows Kweku David to be a nice person, all that. Then you go into a relationship or into an institution, and then you give back a different attitude altogether. It could be what is being presented to you, the situation that you find yourself in. So if I'm dealing with you, am I really ready to open up and accept that excesses from you?
Okay.
Or I am not? Or would I just back out at that particular moment?
So you're saying that here's a scenario.
Yes.
The person is a certain way.
Yes.
Now, because there are certain pressures in a relationship, it's provoking a certain part of
that individual
to respond in a different way. So the person appears to be somebody different.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then the reactive person and then the responsive person. I mean, when you respond to issues, you are responding to it in a matured way. Okay. When you are reacting, it's just that I just by mistakenly I step on your toe. Then the first reaction from you is to slap me or to also reply. Now, when you do that, everybody is going to see you slapping me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you are going to apologize to me because nobody saw me stepping on your toe. Yeah. But being responsive is like, oh, you stepped on me. I was like, oh, sorry. Now, these are some of the attitudes. These are some of the things. These are some of the scenarios. These are some of the issues that come up that people are not really well matured enough to absorb them. I was talking to one person the other day. The person told me that she got married to a man of God. This man proved to be all that there is to see in the man. Then after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month or so, a month and a half, this man started demanding for anal sex.
Wow.
Yes. This is an elder in a church. Everybody reveres this man. Now, this lady rejected, and this man said, this is how I want it and this is how I feel. She didn't know this from the onset.
No.
From maybe they dated for just a year or a year and a half. Never crossed the path that this is the man, he's going to demand for. Now you are into the institution of marriage and the person says that I need anal sex. Are you going to give it or you are not going to give it? How are you going to deal with it? And that is a term and condition attached to that sort of marriage. So it means that to every institution, to every relationship, there are certain things that some people are going through that they didn't expect. But herein, they have accepted it and they are moving with it. But how well are they, especially mentally and emotional status, would they be able to come out and share with people that this is what I'm going through? I never expected this, but this is what is happening. It is a blow to me. It's a blow to my family. Someone was on set just doing TV and then got married. A beautiful lady. The husband said, I don't want you to start doing TV anymore. Just stop it. Because now you are married. People are seeing you now. He is insecure for the fact that people be hitting on her. She never saw this coming.
Yeah. So
how is she going to deal with this? And this is a term and condition. So then one, sit down with the person, ask the person reasons why this person is behaving this way. Analyze the situation at hand. Look at the best or look at the causes that bring out this situation. Then you outline some of the options, solutions, a lot of them. What you need to do is to choose the best out of it. And you start talking to your partner about this. And the two of you will start working together. And the example that I gave about a man of God asking for anal sex, you could see that this person was practicing this. So a little bit of counseling, a little bit of help, and then also outlining some of the health implications that are associated with that activity or that act to that individual, and how you are also going to be affected as an individual. And I feel that when you outline some of these health, because the person says, I'm in with you for the long haul, I'm married to you for better or for worse, and that is the tag that is being on us, for better or for worse. So if you keep doing this to me, how long will I survive? And you know this is not right. So when you have that emotional conversation, one-on-one talk, that open-hearted conversation with that individual, then it's going to afford that person to also tell you why he or she is going or doing all these things at the end of the day. Then the two of you are just going to develop your own solutions together. And here, it's supposed to be devoid of outside influence. Because sometimes what you are going through might be something that someone else is going through that the person hasn't found solution to. You're going to confide in that person is just going to give you just a general opinion. That person is not even worthy of
your hopes.
Dampen your hopes for it. So the two of you work together and develop your own, as we say, homegrown solutions to this issue. Because listen, when you are in your chamber, the two of you are there alone. Nobody is there with you. So are you ready psychologically? Are you ready mentally? Are you ready physically to also embrace some of these shocks that come with it, the expectations that are not met in relationships.
How does one deal with the shocks that are inevitable, where you are completely, like they say, it came from left of field. I wasn't expecting it, and you're in a relationship. It's easy to just walk away.
Yeah.
But is walking away a solution? Is dealing with it, obviously it's challenging, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But how does one, apart from, say, opening up and communicating and so on, how does one survive the challenge, that you've been faced with?
Yeah.
So that, number one, you don't go mad, as a result of the situation. But at the end of the day, you can work through the issues and become a better unit together.
Exactly. I mean, your preamble to the topic was premised on products.
Yes.
Commercials, terms and conditions.
Yes.
When you go and buy with expectations and the functionalities of certain products, they don't live up to expectation, you can go to the manufacturer or to the sales point and just go and give this person the product and say that, listen, I bought this at this price, it's not working for me. Take it, I'm not going to use it anymore. But in human relations, and when you are just in an ordinary relationship, or probably courtship, it's easy, let me put it that way, to just walk out.
Yeah.
Because you're not bounded by any rules and any sort of under any sort of.
But is it necessarily the solution, though?
It is not the solution. Okay. Walking away, it's one of the solutions.
Okay.
Then it is up to you to do a situational analysis of what you are really going through. Do a comparative analysis of what probably you might have heard, what probably you might have experienced, people have told you, and the possible ways that they use to solve this. And then you just you just import some of them and you localize it to your situation. And probably the best thing is you yourself coming out with the best form of solution. Because listen, happiness is very key in every relationship.
Yeah.
And everyone must seek and work at being happy in every relationship. So yes, one, you can walk out. Two, you can have a tete-a-tete with that individual.
Yeah.
Three, as you know, we are very religious, a religious nation. You can pray for either Allah's direction or for God's direction as to what to do. If you have a spiritual father, a spiritual mother, and mentor, go to this person, talk to this person about it, and this person is probably just going to help you, a guide. Not necessarily what the person is going to say is that it's so sacrosanct. So my spiritual father says this, and it is sacrosanct. He might be physical, but not spiritual.
Yeah.
But when it has to do with marriage, under the ordinance of God, and then in the church, and then also legally bounded by the nation or jurisdiction within which you got married, I believe that whoever blessed your marriage is the first person probably sometimes to just go to, outline some of these situations about it, and then have a broader view and talk about it.
Yeah.
If it is an attitudinal change that needs to be undertaken by the other partner, probably you start working about it. People have been socialized in so many ways, so their view and then their understanding of life differs. So now the two of you are together. How are you blending your lifestyle to that of my lifestyle so that we can all coexist in one place? So yes, walking away can be the other thing, but when you analyze the situation and got to know the reasons behind that person's actions or action, then you can outline the possible solutions, choose the best out of it, and then together you can work together in your own chamber only. It is not all situations that need to go out for a third party to get to know about it. I mean, sometimes people will just feed on your information and just run about it and feel that and they said they got married. I mean, say that $10,000 wedding, this. By the end of the day, this is a challenge that they are facing in their marriage. You are the best. The two of you are the best people to solve your own problems.
Is there any situation where walking out is the only solution?
When it infringes on your fundamental beliefs as an individual, one, your religious, one, your socialization beliefs, one, your values and principles for which you stand for. Because sometimes certain people are so not adaptable to certain situations. Whatever you do to them, they can never and never and never stand it. So they just have to leave. So when it is against your values, your principles, your religious standards, which of Ghana here we uphold so much, then I feel that when you compromise, the rippling effect of you being compromising is going to be greater than you just walking away. So the best thing is just to walk away when it infringes on probably your human rights as legally as well too, because you can't stand an abusive partner. No. There's no way that the law can even grant you that each and every day you have turned somebody into a punching bag. How long will you stay in that relationship? How long will you stay in that marriage? And then what we are supposed to do is to just go and see your family members, talk to it. This is it, and have evidence, bruises. Well, woman, at the end of the day, I can't stay. I've been turned into a punching bag. Do you get me? So your values, your principles, your religious standards, and then legal fundamental rights. If these things are being infringed on, and you feel that you can't sustain it, and probably not to embarrass your partner, the best thing is to just go. Because sometimes it's better to walk out than to stay in, because the effect that is going to have on you, you are going to be a different person, build a wall around you, then people are going to see you and go to say, but Koko is a bubbling person. All of a sudden, after marriage, just 1 year, he's turned so cold, so isolated. What is happening to him? He might not be able to share it with everybody. But then, please, just walk away. And I think that is the best thing. This is not to say that we are just advocating for people to collapse their marriages. But at the end of the day, I don't think that when you have a partner who constantly abuses you, you are going to, it's good for you yourself. Then your family members are not even going to support you. And you yourself as an individual, what is the effect that is going to have on you as well too?
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Speaker Ado. We have to talk more. There are a lot of issues that we need to delve in for the sake of our viewers and so on. So we'll have another conversation another day. We've been talking to Speaker Ado, who's a social commentator, and he gave us absolutely valuable tips to take note of, to watch out for. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the next segment.